Hello everyone, welcome back to Mason Jar Garage. It's been a little while since I've posted any kind of long format videos, and I wish I could say that there's a really good reason for that, but it mainly just comes down to me being lazy and it being hot. I haven't wanted to do anything, so I haven't really done much of anything except stuff I could do in the garage. But my hand's been kind of forced. My daily driver, which is a 2016 Chevy Suburban, developed some issues with the charging system. At least that's what it's saying. I decided to just not start at all one day at work, and now it's hard to start, as you'll see here. And I believe it's probably a twofold problem. The battery that's in here is about 5 years old. Actually, maybe a little older, maybe 6 or 7 at this point. It's past its prime, and I've got a new one to go in it that I've just not been installing for about 3 months now because it hasn't been a problem. And then the other thing is, I believe it's got like a voltage sensor on it, on the negative battery cable. Kind of like an amp clamp. I think it measures draw on the system, but I believe it's also bad, or going bad. And Chevrolet wants you to buy the entire negative battery cable. My discounted price on it over at Chevy is like 150 bucks. You can find them online for $70-ish, up for the actual GM. A little bit cheaper on Rock Auto if you go with a like a third-party manufacturer. But I don't want to replace the entire battery cable, the negative cable. That's stupid for one little sensor. And I took a look at the sensor, and there's a part number on it, and the part number actually matches the same sensor that I put on my 07 Tahoe back when I had it, for similar reasons. So I just ordered that part. It's 20 bucks for the genuine GM part on Amazon. So we're going to see if we can replace that, and we're going to throw a new battery in here and see if that takes care of the issues that we're having. So I'm going to get the car moved, and then we're going to get started. Now, one of the other things it was doing is after it refused to start and I jumped it off, number one, even with the jump pack, it was hard to start. It didn't want to, and it was giving me a message on the dash about battery charging system having issues, and it shut off the radio. I read it also shuts off the lights. It was daytime, so I didn't notice that, but this can shut off a few things, and from what I've read and my experience so far, if you just unplug that sensor, it will bypass it. Some things I've read say that it puts the alternator in like a full charge mode all the time, which you don't want to do long term. This just happened a couple of days ago, and they've only really driven to work and home, so should be fine. But if you are running into that issue, I would suggest trying to just unplug that, at least to be able to limp it home. So I'm going to get everything set up here, and then we'll start pulling this stuff out. So on the 2016 Suburban, right back here on the passenger side against the firewall is where you're going to find your battery. You've got to remove this little cross brace before you can get to it, and it is in fact under the hood hinge there, so placement is less than ideal. Now, on some of these full-size GM SUVs and trucks, they have 2 batteries, and the other one mounts right over there in that giant wide open spot at the front that would be super easy to get to. Almost like if you were only going to have a single battery, you'd want it to be there, and then the secondary battery be here if it was one set up for that. But no, we can't do things that way, so that spot gets to stay open, and your battery gets to mount right here. Now, the battery cable is on the back side of the battery there, and right over here is where that sensor mounts on the cable. The sensor is just like a ring that the cable passes through, kind of like an amp clamp. So hopefully this will be easy to just swap that sensor, and there's not some stupid reason other than money, that Chevy is trying to sell you the entire battery cable when they have the sensor on the shelf. At least they thought highly enough of us to have the nuts be retained on that piece instead of a separate nut and bolt combo. Once I get this all pulled out, I'll look and see if there's a date on this battery, because this is not the one I remember putting in it, so apparently I have swapped it at some point. But I don't remember doing that either, so who knows. So I kind of wondered about this. This sensor will not fit off over this battery terminal they put on here. So I assume that is why they are selling this as a whole cable. So I may not get the sensor done today, but I'm still not going to replace the cable. I'm just going to cut the terminal off, replace the sensor, and then put a new terminal on. Because that is really stupid design. Especially when the Tahoe, the previous generation Tahoe, was set up exactly the same as this, and it had a replaceable sensor. Yeah, there's no way that's fitting off over that terminal. Okay. Yep, now we know why. Can I get this out without doing that? Probably not. Hey. Okay, so this battery is dated November of 22, and the battery is bulging, so it's definitely a problem. So who knows, I might not even need the sensor, but we'll get the battery thrown in anyway. Take your terminal covers off. I had the black one on the positive side because the positive side didn't have one on it, and I didn't want to risk touching it against something in here. That's an accessory wire for a hitch mounted mobility chairlift that I don't need now, so it's not going back on. Okay, now I get to put all this other crap back in. Which maybe I should have done this part before I did the positive side, but oh well. Now I'll be right back with you on this.
6.5 hours later.
Now let's see if it'll start up normally. All right, well, there you have it. Did have to do a couple of things after having the battery out, like you're gonna have to reset the like radio stations if you use that, and I had to relearn my pedal monster, my Banks pedal monster, not because the battery was out, but because I've switched phones since the last time I set it up, and it had a firmware update to do and all that good stuff, so it took a few minutes. TPMS sensors are going to have to relearn, although one of them's bad, so I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, the battery seems to have fixed the problem of it starting. I'm not getting any issues or messages on the dash about the charging system or battery save mode or anything like that like I was. I did plug that sensor back up, so I'll give it a week, and if it's still not having issues, I'm not going to worry about that sensor. If it is having issues, then I'll be cutting off that negative terminal and putting that sensor on there, and just putting a new terminal on. It's not hard. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to try to get back to, doing more long format videos, especially since I've got an engine swap coming up with the truck engine here. And then once I get that 350 pulled out of the truck, I'm going to be refreshing it to go on something else, something I've worked on before, you've seen on the channel, and I've decided to go a different way with it than what I was planning, at least for now. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys on the next one. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Bye.
Mason jars on dusty shelves to save us now. Neon lights flicker hard, shadows dance aloud. Rusty tools on memories, we share the scars. In this garage we raise hell, fixing cars.